education legacy in the historical context of India goes very deep. Vedic period, Asam Gurukuls, Nalanda, Takshashila, Santiniketan were pivotal centers for the educations. Today, Anand National University have organized this event. I see this in a continuity. Thank you for giving this opportunity to share my experiment with you all. I'm going to share my insight and experience from Karigar Sala where the experiment took place. The education program focus on experiential learning. Something we keep asking ourselves is, does experiential learning help one to bridge the gap between abstract learning and real world situation or a real world application? Learning is a continuous process because each moment something new that you have to face, and each moment you have to devise a new solution for that. And in that response, the learning is continuous. So nobody knows about future. That's a very simple. If I'll simplify it. The future is unpredictable. That's why. Hence, we felt the learning. Learning how to learn is good way to look at this situation. Our current formal education system is geared towards providing abstract learning, which is where the student is to study through the textbook in a classroom, attend lecture, to give evaluated through the test and examination. Does formal primary or secondary education equip you to address real life situation? Abstract learning system in rural areas where the communities comes from having makers background often end up having a high dropout rate from formal education, as one does not learn real life application of what they studies at. Basically, I'm talking about the India is more in a rural population, and rural population is having a makers. Making is their culture, and at present the education system is an abstract way of learning. It won't connect and fits with each other, and this they don't see the value in this way of learning. At Unasala Foundation, we embarked on a journey to address this by launching a vocational training program for school dropout students in 2011 in November. In one of the classroom was a fractional number, and the fractional number importance of a fractional number while learning the carpentry was from the imperial measuring system, because 1 inch was divided into 8 equal parts. So the fraction number to learn fraction number was important to make something in a carpentry. In middle of the class, one student, Kamlesh his name, was broke down in tears, and we asked, everything was fine at home, at peers? Then he said, I'm fine. It reminds me my last day of the school, where in the class, the class was on a fraction number, and my teacher asked me question on a fraction number, and I failed to answer it. And in the front of entire class, I was badly punished, and that was my last day of school. And Kamle's story was a turning point for us. Kamle's story was a turning point for us. It exposed the limitations of abstract learning and helped us to realize that there was also the vocational training program is also a very narrow vision in it should be education. While we were restructuring our curriculum and pedagogy, we have a questions: what to learn, how to learn, does parts learning helps, how do we include abstract learning in experiential learning? If learning how to learn is important, what kind of a learning environment does it demand? It requires very specific environment. How can we bring joy to learning? How would the course fits into the present socio-economic context? Because when you complete a course, there are certain expectations from the families. There are expectation from for yourself, because I'm learned some skill. How I'm placed in my society. How I'm placed in a earning in an economic way. I see, I forgot, I hear, I remember, I do, and I understand. This is a Confucius quote. Uh, Experiential learning is process where the individual learn through direct experience rather than just reading or listening about topic. It emphasizes hands-on involvement and reflection, making the learner an active participant in their own education. So while you doing something by hand, you learn so many things. It's not just making one thing, but you learn mathematics, you learn many other subjects. With all that said, very heart and soul of the experiment we learned was for one to lead happy and meaningful life. That should be the ultimate goal of education. To kickstart the program, we launched two courses for the school dropouts. One was carpentry, and another was a walling system. In carpentry, they learn working with the wood and wood joinery. In a walling system, they learn the masonry and many building finishes. Some of the subjects they learn along with the making is applied mathematics, applied geometry, teamwork, material science, comprehension of our drawings, production planning, and many such. We also imbibed exposures through the workshops. So, paper collage workshop, they learn color theory, composition, uh, 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 is a toy making workshop. They learn to design toys, games. They verify their ideas with the actual school that was nearby. There's a primary school, and these are the students group from the Karigashala, and in front some of the work they have done. It's a printmaking, woodcut printmaking workshop by Sugandha Rao. She was from Santiniketan, and the students were found very familiar material, wood, and they come up with some of their work. This clip is showing the during this workshop what kind of work they have produced. The woodcut print. So some of the very abstract, very abstract, they were able to do it. We also conduct workshop where design and technical student institution they work together. So at the time of learning, these two environment come together to be acquainted with each other. So designer and makers, they come on the while they were learning. So this workshop is about bamboo and wood combining together and do something with that. And again furniture design. The design students and the Karigashala students, they first design, then they learn how to make, and then some discussion was happening what they have produced in 1 week this workshop. So learning through the live project, that's also one of those. So we link students with the live project. That the project is going on, and there's some component of the project they implement, or entire project sometimes they implement as a for the learning. So this is one school, one in a nearby village. They converted one house into a primary school, and they've restored this house. This is one. This is very recently they have completed this project where you see the walls. No, it's wooden walls with the wooden strip. It looks from inside this. This is implemented by the school Karigar Shala students. This was that team. These two students, they have, after completion of Karigar Shala course, they have completed their graduation, in in commercial art from CN Vidyalaya, Ahmedabad, and another student who become an interior designer from architect college and doing his own practice. Akshay and Rakesh are two out of 300, more than 300 students that have passed out from the Karigar Shala. Seeing them become successful entrepreneurs inspired us to take the Karigar Shala initiative forward. Looking at the way forward, we still have a questions. Can this be taken beyond just experiment? This was experimental, and these are the some encouraging result was coming out of it. But can we take beyond this experiment? How can experiential learning be beyond the craftsmanship? Because we work with the two courses, one carpentry and a walling system. Can we take similar way of learning to the other discipline also? Can experiential learning become an integral part of a formal education? This question is particularly from the rural side or rural side scenario, and these are the people who made this experiment successful. And thank you, thank you.